Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is showtime. We'll play a little bit of, I don't know, Guild Wars 2. How about that? I have defeated the Guinness. The Guinness did not defeat me, and I have returned again. That is 2 human. Odd for female. It's 11. That is odd. Which class or profession should we be? That is a 12. That is warrior. Come out and play a old guy movie reference. We will randomize our appearance. And that's fine. We will wear the Spangen helm, the Gallia, or no helm at all. 4 is going to be the Spangen helm, which is clearly the most fun to say. Spangen helm. We'll go ferocity so we can remember it. .11. Biggest regrets, not going to matter. 20 we reroll, because that doesn't mod 3, too. And we never recovered our sister's body. The god, 18, that's going to be Cormier. Oh, everyone hates Cormier. And I do mean everyone. Lens of blades. Ooh. And good evening to whomever has joined me.
The human race once ruled Tyria.
Yeah. Equip that. Move that there. Move that there. We have logged in. We are under attack. We skipped the entire pre-event stuff and just head straight to where the shaman has either summoned the dangerous hands or where he will summon them, depending on where we are. Good evening, or possibly afternoon, or even morning, depending on your location in the world, this great wide world of ours. How are you doing? Well, I hope. It's hump day. Halfway to your weekend. Actually, 60%, I suppose. Got the lightning out there. Do we have the hands? Are the hands out yet? The hands are not yet out. The gate is open, so we're waiting for the next wave. This player there did not try to kill the bad guys so that we can advance. I will take care of this. Thank you, Logan. I honestly don't know how Logan Thackeray could be any more uninteresting and dull. One more wave of the centaurs, and then we get the boss. So in this particular case, I do not believe I have actually gained any time by running over here. But most of the time it saves some time. As now the gateway is closed.
Enough of this. Take down those
And what do you know? I have completed logging in reward a second time. I'm so clever. Now he summons the hands. It is I. Good evening to you.
It's huge!
That's not something Logan is used to hearing. Oh my god, what is that thing? It's huge. Yeah. Logan wishes he heard that. I did not do the key farm on Monday. I was still playing Aethys. So, maybe next Monday I'll be back at it. Yeah, I think it's going to blow. Yeah, that is something he would desperately like to hear, along with the, what is that thing? It's huge. Poor Logan. He tries his best. It's just not very good. And having finished Aethys, I figured I'd just do this. I'm a little low energy because of the Guinness last night. I won the battle. The Guinness was all defeated. There were 8 dead soldiers this morning. And I was not one of them. Yes, I've been unconscious for 3 days, or as the rest of the world knows it, I've been in a coma. Talk to the Watchman Rebecca. Grab the POI. Eee. And now we begin. Oh well. First thing we do, we dance with the cows. Always, always dance with the cows. Unscorch the corn. Oh, I missed. So, in way of warning or alert, or simple notification, on Friday, I do not know if I'll be streaming at the regular time, but on Friday I will most assuredly be streaming at 9 p.m. Pacific. Yes, that's midnight Eastern. As Back from the Dead, the emulator server for Marvel Heroes, is going to 1.0 launch. Now, if you never played Marvel Heroes Online, it was a combination of an ARPG, similar to like Diablo or Diablo 2, but also had MMO elements in it. So depending on your definition, it may or may not qualify as an MMORPG. I have over 1,000 hours in the game. And if you ever played it previously, you still have access to download it from Steam. I assume there are other places you can download it from, but because I played it on Steam, I can download it from Steam. All you have to do is change a single argument in in the client line inside Steam to point the server at a different server. And you can run a server locally if you want on your own computer. Or if you want to play with groups of other people, just go to MH Tahiti. It's a magical place. .com. MHTahiti.com. And they're running a private server. They've reverse engineered the code, which means at least in the United States, it's legal to run reverse engineered code. But if Disney decides to get pissy about it and unleash their flesh-eating lawyers, the fact of the matter is the server code is out there. And this is not leaked, which is technically not legal to use leaked code. This is reverse engineered code. And according to the Phoenix BIOS precedent set back when IBM first brought out their PC, reverse engineering something in a clean room environment is not subject to any sort of legal consequences. It is legally protected. Now again, if Disney were to come after them, they would at least have to move the servers out of the country. But I played a lot. It is a great put your brain in neutral and blast game. Not good one, a great one. There were, I don't know, 30 or 40 characters when they shut the servers down. And I had all of them at the level cap. And in some cases, I had done what was called prestiging, which basically is resetting your character to level 1, leveling up all the way again, and you would get to change the color of your character's name to denote that they had been re-leveled. And the color would depend on how many times you'd re-level them. A friend of mine had not Paragon. I just said the word a minute ago and it's gone already from my brain. Prestiged. There it is. It's back. Had prestige all the way, the maximum number of times for his Squirrel Girl character. So for my first character, I will be playing Thor, as Thor was one of the few superheroes I liked as a kid. And that was because I was big on mythology, and so I'd read about Thor and Odin and Loki. Bullfinch's mythology as a kid. We'll equip that. We'll drag the 2 swords down here. We also have a scepter, which is like the only weapon that warriors can't use. It figures. We got another thingy taken care of. We have defeated 25 enemies. Our power is undeniable. We've not had any luck in getting any events, as that is kind of key to optimizing your leveling, is getting lucky and getting events where you double dip. You get XP for the event, but at the same time, you're clearing out the heart. And that is a new item of attire, which means we, once again, will attempt to remember how to appropriately do this. We'll get the equipped fashion. We will add random dyes. We will accept Arid, Dijon, and Godless. Looks pretty good, actually. And then we will apply to the equipment. There we go. Bandit Haunt Caverns. Seriously. You would think if there were caverns named Bandit Haunt, somebody like, oh, I don't know, Logan Thackeray
Just one more confirmation of how great
might take care of the bandits at the clearly labeled Bandit Haunt Caves, but evidently no. Logan. All right, we're getting the stolen feed, which we will take back to the farmer that the bandits have been stealing from after we murder them. A little. Oh, interesting. Doesn't spawn a second one. And we've got bags of pinched goods that we're getting from those thieving bandits who, it seems unwisely to me, have chosen to live in the Bandit Haunt Caves. Caverns. Just, you know, I would think you might want to find a place that is less clearly labeled for the authorities. But then I've never been a bandit, so maybe they kind of pride themselves on this sort of bravado of, whoops, wrong way. Making sure everyone knows where we are because they're too cowardly or stupid to do anything about it. Logan! Here are your supplies. You're welcome, ma'am. You'll excuse me, I have someone shooting at me. They were shooting at me. Now, not so much. I haven't hit a single event tonight, I don't think. That's really unusual. Usually good for a couple. Will be interesting to see how many people we get showing up. Oh, they're invincible. That's an event going on, isn't it? I think it is. They won't let me mount up. Yes, it is. Finally an event. It'd be nice if I could actually hit the things I'm trying to hit. Alright, I got a silver. Just today, I was watching a streamer, The Jungle Queen, and I can safely assume she's going to be streaming Marvel Heroes on account of her husband was the lead designer for the game, David Brevik, who also was the lead designer for a couple of games you may have heard of, Diablo 2. She used to stream a lot more, and David would frequently sit alongside her and answer questions, you know, from players who had questions about Diablo 2, the design thereof, how much, you know, how was life under, you know, Blizzard, although they were called Blizzard North, they were a part of Blizzard. And she's delight on her own. Monster Wolf, good evening. You have survived Hump Day. Congratulations. Hopefully the remaining, assuming standard, 40% of your work week will go quickly. If you have non-standard work conditions, I hope they go quickly too. Ding 8. I'm a hero. I'm here to straighten up your documents and kill rats. I'm a hero. I'm so good at killing rats, I can kill them blindly through a tent. That's heroic. Oh, yes, we did hit. We can use that. I do not have any real idea of how good Spear is on Warrior, I have to say. I must admit with shame. I feel lasting and abiding shame all the time. I'm weak. I'm worthless. Oh, I've tidied up the documents. I feel much better about myself. I didn't get that. Oh, the guy happened to pass just so that my F got intercepted with a talk to him instead of set fire to the Tammany death marker or remove the Tammany stakes. Steak. We're now level 8 and a half. We'll bounce back over here as I sadly, failed to grab the Vista. Level 9. I'll equip these because we can. Let's kill some scrat. It's not nice, but, you know. Wind-lost delves. And we will prove ourselves to be a classic cultural imperialist by knocking over all of their culturally valuable artifacts. Starting a stream on YouTube, what advice to have as professional might be a bit of a stretch. Sort of like the one piece of advice that comes to mind immediately is something that is easy for me, but I know is difficult for a lot of people. Especially when you start, although in my case, pretty much all the time anyway. I don't have a lot of people watching. But if somebody tunes in, and nobody says a word for 5 minutes, they're not going to stick around. Unless your gameplay is God tier. So you need to be able to self-narrate your play. And that's something you can practice. For me, it was easy. I do that on my own anyway, to be perfectly honest. I talk to myself a lot. I'm a bit of I'm a blabber. So for me, that part came easy. But for a lot of people, that's really difficult. You know, just talking about the nothing you're doing constantly. You don't want anyone to tune in and not hear a word being spoken for 30 seconds because they're going to tune out. So being a natural ham helps. Otherwise, you may have to work at it. You know, some of us we naturally feel comfortable in an environment like this, especially with people we know, but even with strangers, where we can keep a conversation going. It's just something that's either through practice or through lucky good nature that we have. I mean, in my case, as a little kid, I was incredibly quiet. But over time, I turned into a talker. So practice that part. Yeah, that part can be fairly straightforwardly practiced. Play the games you enjoy. Don't try and rage bait to bring people in. If it works, and maybe it does work, I really don't know. But if it works, that's not the kind of audience you most likely want. Unless you're a young, self-convinced alpha male, I don't think it's the kind of viewers that you want. It's certainly not the kind I want. Now, I'll get pissed off and I'll crap on a game or a studio, that kind of thing from time to time. But when I do it, it's genuine. It's not done for clicks. Who aren't the viewers I don't want? The viewers who react to rage bait. The viewers who want to get mad about a bad game. And they want me to get mad about the game so that they could get mad about the game. I will get mad at games, but it comes from actual anger or frustration. It's not intentional rage baiting. If I'm unhappy at a game or swearing at a game, which I was doing a little bit last night, it's organic. It's not faked. And for the record, the game, wow, it's back. This totem on the wall comes and goes in game. What rage baiting is, a lot of the internet is designed to get engagement by making people angry. A lot of people they find that very, I don't want to say intoxicating, but addicting. They get addicted to being mad about things. And that drives their engagement. It's then the people who, if they see my video and I'm raging at something terrible that they also don't like, for a lot of people, that is, I want more of that. I want to have the things that make me angry validated. And this person raging at the thing that I hate validates the way I feel. If I'm angry at something, it's because I'm angry at it. I prefer not to be angry, but when something pisses me off. I mean, last night I was playing Aethys, which I consider to be the best $20 or under game I have ever played. I think it's a terrific game. But I was raging because there was one little piece in it that was frustrating the shit out of me. But it was a genuine frustration and anger, and it did not, in the long term, change my judgment on the game. It's terrific. Making the content you'd like to see will create an audience of people that, yeah, it becomes sort of a self-reinforcing thing. If you're, especially if you're enjoying the game, most people who go check out a stream on a game want to see the good things. They want to be encouraged to play the game. And so playing games that you enjoy works better than playing things that you don't enjoy for any reason. Now, another decision you're going to have to make at some point. There are kind of two, I don't want to say career arcs, but two sort of very different paths to take if you're going to stream. One of them is to specialize in a game or genre or a small number of games, and the other is to just do variety. And for me, I honestly couldn't do the other type. I can only do variety because I only want to stream the games that I'm playing. When I'm enjoying a game, like the way I just finished Aethys last night, 40 hours, I would say 30, 32 of it were probably streamed. A lot was streamed. Not all of it, but most of it. And that's because that was the game I was playing and enjoying, and I wanted to stream. Now, those as far as number of views I've gotten on those videos, very low. But that's fine by me. It's the game I wanted to play, and so for me, because I'm not invested in trying to make a living at this or even make money at this, I do this because I enjoy streaming, I enjoy interacting with people, and it provides an old man with some structure to his existence. Oh, 5 p.m., time for me to stream. I seldom forget what the day of the week is. I'm occasionally off by 1. It's like, is this Wednesday or Thursday? But that wasn't the case when I wasn't streaming. A lot of time I would be, is today Tuesday? And it might be a Thursday or a Friday. Because I had no reason to keep track of the days of the week, really. Three for them, 1 for you? I don't understand the reference.
Come on, sweetness, just one dance. Let's see where
There he is, Uptown Johnny. He'll give us the best line in the game later on.
Maybe not even then.
Huh.
Poor Johnny, shot down again.
I'm so glad to see you.
Yeah. Oh, okay, this is a bouncer. I didn't realize this one bounced. Where you going, Johnny? Old performer thing. Musicians making commercial songs and then one for themselves. Yeah, I mean, that is a basic decision you're going to have to make, is how you're going to choose to stream. Are you going to stream the hot new game? For instance, the shitload of people are going to be playing Crimson Desert tomorrow. From what I've seen, I'm not impressed, so I'm in no hurry. But there are times that I will stream the hot new thing. When it's like a new expansion for Guild Wars 2, I'm going to be streaming that for weeks, 2 or 3 weeks at least. But because I stream for my own satisfaction and my entertainment, I don't have to make any decisions based on, finances or actively doing everything in my power to grow my stream. So I have entirely different motivations than a lot of streamers. I don't think I can give any really helpful hints for someone who wants to be like commercially successful at it, because I'm certainly not commercially successful at it by any sort of standard definition. Hate it when a new game come out, half the people on Twitch will stream it. It depends on, you know, a lot of them are streaming it. Like, if you are a big streamer, you want to stream it because your regulars are probably going to want to watch. They're going to want to know your opinion on the new hotness. So it makes sense for a new streamer. If I'm going to do it, it's because the new game looks interesting to me. Like I did with Aethys. I played that on launch day. Yeah, so it's going to depend. I understand. And tomorrow I will probably watch a streamer or two playing Crimson Desert, even though I'm not particularly interested in it.
I'll go first.
Because it's not impossible that it's a game I would like to play. I like RPGs.
You're dead.
You know, so, I mean, it is possible I would want to play it. And a big open world RPG is, well, one of the reasons I enjoy this game so much is its big open world ARPG. But what I've seen, I didn't find particularly impressive, but then I haven't had a chance to actually see people playing. I'm seeing people talking about, like I was watching Dat Mods earlier, and he is like looking through reviews and stuff. So I checked the reviews. It's currently at 77 on Metacritic, but these are all early reviews, so who knows? It certainly doesn't look like it's going to be a runaway quality game. Might be fine. Excellent advice. Hey, I'm glad. I try to be reasonable about it because I've had people ask before, you know. And the advice would be very different if someone's going in hoping to make a living at it. Someone is doing it because it looks like fun, which is what I did.
Commander Serenity.
You know, there are reasons, different reasons, and the advice would vary somewhat. The one I feel pretty safe about is the first one I mentioned. If you're not comfortable, you know, in front of a camera, talking with people, self-narrate while you play on your own. Get used to it first. Another bag. Papa needs a brand new bag. Yes, I make that joke every time. Can't help it. I could help it. I just didn't.
This is the only proper course.
Set goals for yourself that are reasonable. Getting Twitch affiliate is pretty easy. At least it was for me. But then I was playing a relatively niche game, City of Heroes. And so getting, you know, a half a dozen people to watch all the time when I was playing City of Heroes wasn't that tough. You know, if you're going to be playing WoW during the Race to World First right now, the odds are you're not going to have a whole lot of people sticking around and watching regularly. So affiliate wasn't too tough for me because I was playing a niche game without a lot of streamers playing it and a relatively small and consistent group of viewers. So getting affiliate was easy. Took like 2 or 3 months. I've never come anywhere remotely close to a qualifying for our Twitch partnership. That, at least it was, I think it still is, an average of 75 people. And like the highest 1 month average I ever had was probably 9 or 10. So setting reasonable goals also can be difficult. That was a failing I had, is I didn't, you know, I got so quick. I got the affiliate. I assumed, well, I can get partner. Nope. Most of the time I'm between 6 and 8 people, occasionally between 10 and 12. I will never be a Twitch partner. I have accepted that. Making those jumps, that's got to be the hard part. And I can't provide any useful advice for that. Knockback. Pardon the yawn. Lens. Yawn, yawn, yawn. Twitch over YouTube. No reason not to do both. I'm on Twitch and YouTube right now. I use Restream software. It's free as long as you're only streaming to 2 destinations. I have a smaller, but, you know, reasonable size. The numbers I was giving were Twitch numbers. I'm probably between averaging 2 and 4 on YouTube, and I see that you're on YouTube. I have like 950 Twitch followers. I have like 1,150 YouTube subscribers, which is the same as follows. But I've been on Twitch for over 6 years, on YouTube for like maybe 2.5, something like that. So the numbers, I can't give really good description as to how those numbers measure up against each other as to what kind of numbers are reasonable or good, or how to grow the community, because I'm a niche streamer. You know, the people who find me and find me funny, they have a relatively high stickiness. They tend to stick around reasonably well. And a lot of people, I assume, watch a couple of times or occasionally will drop in. But transitioning from small streamer to big streamer, that's one I cannot give any useful advice for, because I've never done that.
Thank you.
Lieutenant Francis, most incompetent officer in the Seraph. Is it through OBS? I'm using Streamlabs OBS. I find OBS is more powerful, and I am technically savvy, but I don't want to have to be technically savvy to get what I need out. And so for me, using Streamlabs OBS is a lot more straightforward. It's less powerful. Some is paid, some is free. Yeah, I use Restream. I have not had much problems with them. That's about the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. If you're interested in hitting both, there's certainly no harm in hitting both. But if you want to do Kick or something like that, I have no useful advice other than maybe ew. Yeah, so I use Streamlabs and then Restream to both platforms, YouTube and Twitch. Basically, I point Streamlabs at Restream, and then Restream fires them off through there. And I think they badge. I think they add a badge on the video, like in the upper right-hand corner. Oh, sorry. Upper right-hand corner. I'm not sure. Maybe it's in the text for the stream. I'm not sure.
I'm not losing either of you. Not without fight. Fine, you can.
I can take care of myself. You're the one who just got out of the hospital.
The way I've heard it described, the difference between YouTube and Twitch is that YouTube is better for the viewers and Twitch is better for the streamers. And I think that's true. Twitch offers a more full suite of things you can do as a streamer. But YouTube offers generally a better user experience. The ability to, which Twitch just recently added, to pause and then resume a stream. YouTube, I believe, also has the ability to pause a stream and then watch it at a higher speed until it catches up to the live stream. Pardon the yawn, guys. Wasn't a great night's sleep. After defeating those Irish soldiers.
Messed up the bar. They're supposed to be in jail. A little
Bleeding useless. Hey, I need backup over here. So help me.
All right, it's Twitchy Jake. And friends.
You're getting right. Dead. I'm putting those heads right in, man. Get your hands off me. Hey. Surrender.
Oh. Forgot about the guy who comes a little bit late to the party. There's always one.
When you get to the mist, tell them Twitchy Jake sent you. Don't you know who I am? I'm famous. Everywhere. Not me.
Yes, I got you. And now you're dead.
I've got to get these supplies back to the Seraph.
I'll see you soon.
And back out. And back to Lieutenant Francis. Still the most incompetent officer in the Seraph. Whee! Whoop. All right, back to the Salma district. I would also recommend asking other streamers for advice. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that I've missed. I expect most streamers have very, very different experiences from each other over time.
You're back. They're upstairs.
I know, up the stairs, second left, first right door on the right. Hurry. Right. Here's your medicine. And quit complaining, Andrew, you drama queen.
To pull this off, you'll have to eat, breathe, and sleep.
Oh, Logan. Could you please just shut up? Pants I can't wear and pants that I can wear. All right, we've got new items of attire. For those of you who might be new around here, when I am leveling up a character, I always treat a new item of attire as an opportunity for an appalling cosmetic, visually speaking. We will get the equipped fashion, and we will randomly dye it. There we go. We have antique olive, which actually makes a creditable looking kind of mildly rusty metal. Hydra and auric. Actually looks pretty good. Apply to the equipment. We can't have good looking stuff. My stuff is supposed to look awful. It's supposed to be like bright pink and awful green and eye-searing yellow. And Logan has told me to sneak into the bandits' lair. He knows where the bandits are. Again, does nothing. What's your job again, Logan? To protect people from, like, let's say, bandits? You know where they are, but you're not doing anything about it. Logan. Alright, infiltration. Sneaking into the bandits now. I don't have bandit clothes, so I'm going to kill one of them and then wear his blood-soaked outfit. Because apparently they have, is it a costume?
You're trespassing, jerk. Now I have to hurt you.
I now look like a bandit. You can tell because I have the uniform. Evidently they have a uniform, I guess. Now, the best line of dialogue in the game, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I give you Uptown Johnny.
I'm Uptown Johnny, baby. Man plus.
And he just walks away and then shrugs. Poor Johnny. Johnny. We first see him, he gets shot down by barmaid Barbara, and now he gets shot down by the anonymous bandit scout. And now we're going to kill some drakes. We'll just pretend we're Kendrick Lamar. Oh, that's right. The old guy knows a little bit
Sure about this?
about the shared cultural zeitgeist. Yeah, I said zeitgeist.
Make it quick.
That's it. And now... they're planning on burning down the orphanage and the Veterans Hospital. I have to decide which one I'm going to defend and which one Lieutenant Francis is going to fail to defend, because Lieutenant Francis is really bad at his job. I'll help the orphanage. Doodly doopy doot doot. Shh.
Ted thinks we can be in two places at once. That's what teamwork.
The gods didn't invent teamwork, you sap. Torch. Less new pants. And an axe.
Begin destruction protocol.
We'll sell all that at the market, because it actually sells for a little chunk of change. Miss T! Here. This is for you. Oh, goodness, I better take care of that. What can I say? I get a joke, I will drive it into the ground. There is no joke I cannot strangle in its grave. Cradle. In its cradle. We'll go with cradle. Yeah, I know where the orphanage is. Thanks, Logan. I try, you know. Uptown Johnny, baby. Man plus. What? Stop saying dumb things like "I'll see you again" to the people we're fighting that we just killed. Oh my God. He is just such a complete and utter failure. He's so boring, you know? Yorg. Well, hello, bandit rifleman, or riflewoman. Big Nose Ted. You know him, you love him. Okay, actually, you probably don't love him. I mean, he is kind of a puke. That was the worst, most missed attack you will ever see in any game ever. And I gave it to you. And the orphans, well, they just love me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Every child is.
Thank you. Thank you. Is it getting warmer for you over there? Holy shit, yes. Today, I think we cracked 90 today. Hold on, a sneeze coming. Let's see, 77, 86. That would be 32, I believe. 32C today. Might have gotten hotter than that. Might have been an all-time record for the date. My AC has been on for most of the day, and I currently have my AC set at 25.
Francis, tell me you got everything.
Normally,
No, sir.
you know, mid-March, we're looking at temperatures solidly. Well, let's skip to the end here. Average high temp in San Jose in, let's say, on March 18th. 67. That's typical. With lows around 48. So that's 19C and 9C. The previous high was in 1914, 85. We broke that today. We reached at least 89, and I think we cracked 90. The old record was 29. We hit at least 32. You know, I gotta say, for a Chinese hoax, this global climate change is really, really pretty convincing. Texas, you only mean that it's a... Oh, well, it's a different story. Well, and also, you guys get the humidity. And I'll be completely upfront with you. I am the world's biggest heat and humidity candy ass. So, I had a week in San Antonio once. Actually, my hotel room actually looked down on the Alamo, which as a history geek was that's actually really kind of cool. And the Riverwalk was nice, but if it hadn't been for the alcoholic frozen daiquiris, I would have died. Yeah, so, I mean, anywhere California, at least on the coast, generally, we don't get the humidity. So the temperatures do not correlate to a place like Texas or basically anywhere in the U.S. South. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yep. I agree 1000%. So the two worst times I've experienced the heat and humidity was San Antonio. I think it was summer too, so because it was hot and wet. The other was in college, going to Marshall University in West Virginia. It was 90 and raining, and I was wearing a 3-piece woolen suit. It's possible I actually died. Above 105 a lot in the summer. Yeah, I've got friends who live in Phoenix, which again, they are at least the dry heat. Yeah, and certain parts of Texas, I know. Oh my God, the temperatures and the humidity. I cannot even. Yeah, candy ass. Absolute, complete and utter candy ass. I admit. Okay, here it comes. We never want to hear this again. These words. We don't want to hear the words hard on and Logan in the same sentence, Anise. Please don't do that ever again. Lived in the Solomon Islands when you were younger. That's going to be hot and humidity too, I expect. 30 to 40 C every day with humidity. Yeah, well, on the positive side, though, like Hawaii, generally speaking, the temperature range always stays relatively in a narrow band, so you always know what you're getting. Like Hawaii. There are places in Hawaii where they get rain basically every day, and it's never been above 90, which would be 77, 86, 32.
Hello.
But as someone, who always comes home to the Bay Area,
Fair weather we're having.
I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it.
What's up with my face? And why do I have to be the burned one?
Oh, shut up, Logan.
Stop crying.
When you're young, you don't feel it like when you're older. Yeah, I would assume. Again, the highest temperature I've ever been in was 113, and that was in Las Vegas. And the dry heat absolutely matters. That was not anywhere near as uncomfortable as 90s and raining, or San Antonio was. Also, again, in Vegas, 113 dry heat, and again, alcoholic
Oh, that's how they've been getting
frozen daiquiris.
Patience, Logan.
San Antonio and Vegas,
You give away the entire game.
alcoholic frozen daiquiris.
Bringing you is becoming a full-time job, you troll-faced goon. Come on, I'm getting
Yeah, I'm born and raised.
Thanks, Commander.
Oh, in West Virginia, I was on the speech and debate team, and the national championships were in
If you want to
Marshall University in West Virginia. I was born and raised in the Bay Area, born in Oakland.
Step ahead of me, eh, Logan? Too bad you won't live to brag about it.
Front Royal, Virginia.
Leave no one alive.
When we flew in to the airport, which is on top of not like on top of a incredibly steep mountain, but it's on top of a mountain that they flattened off. And the whole area was just beautiful and green, like everyone always tells you West Virginia is. And that drive was the only part of the state that wasn't an armpit. Touch of malaria, so I have slight panic when you see mosquitoes, understandably, I would say. Yeah, I did intercollegiate competitive speech and debate for 3 years, and I made the national championships all 3 years. And one of them was in a nice place. I did not like Huntington, West Virginia. I did not like Bloomsburg State.
That was exhilarating.
We flew into Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, and
Sarah team's little work.
that was the ugliest place I've ever seen in person,
You've won
was the Scranton, Wilkes-Barre area. It was just industrial blight. The third one was Minnesota, Mankato State, Mendota, Minnesota, I think. That was nice.
Enjoy your victory.
That was very
We'll be in
nice.
touch with you again soon. Divinity's Reach can always use someone we can trust.
I'll be ready.
Doodly doopy doot doot and key. Front Royal is the Shenandoah. Blue Ridge Mountains, it's described in the song. West Virginia hardly has any of the attractions that are mentioned. Yeah, like I said, you're flying into the to the airport and it's just greenery, and you're driving down and it's just greenery and beautiful, and then every other part of the state was fugly. Let's see, we need to salvage everything salvageable. We missed. There we go. As is tradition, we'll sell everything that's sellable. Oh, everything else, that's right. Okay, that can get sold. And then these will all get vendorized. Sell at the trading post. Last I saw they were 3 silver each. Yeah, 3 silver each. Like my accent, it's funny. My minor is in speech communication. I specialized in public speaking. But my major was computer science. My minor was speech communications. And at one point there was a discussion of accents, and there is a thing that I refer to as the sterile California accent, and I have it. And you, at that time in the U.S., local television news was a big deal. There were 3 local television news, four channels had local television news. Over the years, local television news has devolved and evaporated. But at the time, it was very common for someone to do a couple of years here and a couple of years here, and they would just go throughout the country, and they might hit 4 or 6 different cities. Almost everyone ended up having to do, at some point, doing a brief stint in Los Angeles, and everyone learned, and this was factual at the time, everyone learned the California accent, which was the greater Los Angeles area, basically newscasters, local newscasters defined the American accent. And I certainly have it even though I'm a Northern Californian, the differences between Northern California and Southern California at least in accent, are very minimal. There are some differences. For instance, if a Southern Californian got on U.S. Highway 101, they would say, "I'm on the 101." If a Northern Californian got on that same freeway, I would say, "I'm on 101." You can tell the difference between a Northern Californian and a Southern Californian as to whether they put the word "the" before the freeway numbers. Oh, English is my first and only language. I speak gibberish. I took 3 years of German. I can speak some Elvish from Tolkien. That's the only languages I know. In my case, ear by ear. For instance, because I watched so much Monty Python when I was younger, I used to be able to do a pretty fair array of British accents because I was just mimicking what I had learned from Monty Python. Oh, Miss T. My bad. Yeah. No, but I think she means learning which one is which. Like to identify. For instance, I can't identify... Generally, I can't identify different Southern accents. I can know that they're different. Texan doesn't sound like South Carolina. Certainly doesn't sound like Louisiana. But outside of that, I really couldn't tell. You say the 101? That's pretty common. Most people would put the in front of the freeway number, but for whatever reason in Northern California, we don't. Families from LA. That would explain it. Yep. But I think sort of nationwide, that is also the standard, but I'm not positive about that. But I certainly know it is a difference between LA area and Northern California. We have a Black Lion key right there. So let me grab, I think, the last of my free chests. The chests drop occasionally. And I just haven't been playing that much lately. I will open this box. We will get a Black Lion statuette. We will get a Black Lion die canister blue. We will get 2 commons. Good ones in here are the weapon unlocks, the crafting mats, because I hope to make more legendaries. The die packs used to be, but I have every die you can get out of any of these die kits. Tomatoes and tomatoes, yes. And the twang and how it's said. And they can vary widely, and they can have very narrow ranges. It's one of the things I learned about dialects and accents when I was taking one of the speech communication courses. And like very, very localized. So we'll get 2 of these. We have a 10% chance of getting an uncommon or better. The current uncommon weapon sets are the Ice Reaver sets, which aren't bad, particularly if you want to do something thematic. If you want to do an ice-themed outfit, these are really good. I have an ice-themed character. I think that's Norzondor Gorgonax is his name. Also in the uncommons are this new exclusive, which is a backpack skin. And also these pants. Which don't look like much in my current colors, but aren't bad at all. Then we have the rares. I'm not a big fan of the Paladin's Decree set. I did go out of my way, however, to get this one of them, which looks like a nice document. And then the super rares, which of course I will never get. And here we go. I will click open. We'll get a common here, and what we're hoping for is a 5th box to appear, and that will be an uncommon or better. It is a 10% chance. Here we go. Nope. And the results are mixed. I have 30 of these in the bank. And those are tier 6 crafting mats. And the rest are stuff we'll just bank. It's funny. I am continuing to use the camera move from Aethys. I trained myself well enough that I continue to use the middle mouse button to try and move my camera.
I'm not sure.
That's not how this works at all. Australia, but no scary animals except the New Zealanders. Ba-dum-bum. Yep. A good deal, I believe, of still Lord of the Rings focused tourism in New Zealand. GGG Games, the guys who do Path of Exile, are New Zealanders. Got everything taken care of, right? Yes, we did. This character will be deleted, but I'm not done just yet. We've got bosses to kill. And I'm sure if you ask the Aussies, they'd be happy to send you some funnel web spiders, maybe. for any of our American viewers, a funnel web spider is not only a venomous spider, it has the unusual trait of living in nests and being aggressive to the point where they will rear up and charge at you. I'm not going to Australia. How hasn't New Zealand got the scary animals like an invasive species? Wouldn't they be like immediate apex predators? It depends. They would have to be absolute apex. And even then, yeah, I mean, I don't know how the currents are running. If the currents run west to east, I would not be surprised if they would get run over by Australian things on driftwood and whatnot. But if the primary currents are running the other way, that's a lot less likely to happen. I need to go where? Where do I need to go? I need to check and see where the next boss is. GW2 ET. Next up, the Great Jungle Worm. Oh, right. Well, I am off then.
Searching for the Great Jungle Worm. I found something similar.
Sorry, my voice-activated device. Activated. We need the Great Jungle Worm. Great Jungle Worm. Great Jungle Worm is here, I believe. Where does that Australia and New Zealand were once connected, would you believe? Yeah. Yeah, I certainly would. But by once, I'm guessing quite a while ago. As in the hundreds of thousands of years. So we currently are in the boss rush, I do believe. That's not actually where I wanted to be looking. That is where I wanted to be looking. Now that's the PvP rush. I thought there was a boss rush. Am I mistaken? Is there not a boss rush? How about we check? Go over to boss rush. How long ago it shocked you when you learned? Well, I mean, Africa and South America used to be connected too. Because I noticed when I was a kid, it looked like they would fit. And then, like, 15 years later, continental drift actually became a real scientific fact. Previously, people had laughed at it. Is this ongoing right now? I think it is. I know where I should have looked. World Boss Rush. Yeah, it is. Yeah, March 17th. I have 318 unspent hero points on this character, which means I am ready to unlock the next elite specialization if we ever get one. Where was I? I was looking for boss? World Boss Rush champion. I have to defeat 30 bosses, 3 for each tier. I know the last thing is a Ascended with 10 agony resistance infusion in it, which is pretty good. Boss Rush participant. a bonus box of goods, which will have probably just some jank in it. And World Boss Rush Volunteer. Oh, I didn't meet with Halvora to learn about the World Boss event. I don't know. What do you think? We're going to have... Oh, it has already started. Will I get a shot in? Not on that one. Alright, we tagged him. The other one, can we get a tag in on? We sure should be able to. We missed one of the champions. It's fine. It's fine. Pardon the yawn. I did not sleep well last night. That was the revenge of the Guinnesses I had. They didn't want me to sleep well. And here's the big worm. Let's go ahead and drop a trap and a trap. Ritual husks. Well, who doesn't like a nice ritual husk? I mean, seriously. Oh, sure. I'll go ahead and just drop some heals in there because, you know, I'm generous. I could revive this person again. I'm generosity. Whoops. Get out of the poopy on the ground.
It must be weakening. Don't let up.
Infuriating. I'm nigh invincible, guys. You heard me. You think I'm just talking to myself here? Oh, wait. Kinda. At least as most people would describe it. Yes, kind of. Alright, we can resurrect Vestamana. Try to res Vestamana. Oh, they're actually not downed. They're dead. Never mind. That's a lot of people. Let's see, we got another one over there. I'm in the poop again. Let this be a lesson to you. Boys and girls, do not stand in the poop. You would think that would be something you wouldn't have to tell people, but evidently you kind of do. And we got them, as they say. The next one. The Modnir Ulgoth. The Modnir Ulgoth. Hinterlands, I think. Yep, Modnir Gorge. Of course, it became contested. There's a simple way to tell whether a waypoint is contested, and that is whether I want to go there or not. If I double click on it, it is contested.
It seems most remarkable.
Rare and valuable.
And what did we get from our 2 bonus boxes of goods? Not going to say no to 500 karma and 10 ancient wood logs. Don't say it. Ancient wood is not something to laugh at in front of the old man, because he's going to take it as personal and he's going to be hurt. Everything hurts his feelings. Pardon me? Excuse me? Nice mount skins in the game? Yeah, there are. Now, there are also some that I'm not a big fan of, but any game where they have to predicate at least most of their money or a big chunk of their money on cosmetics is always going to have cosmetics I just hate, because let's face it, I'm a miserable old bastard. Actually, the one cosmetic I hate most in the game was in the game at launch. And I've hated it since launch because it was so completely out of keeping with every other thing in the game at the time. And still, I think, out of keeping even with the extreme weirdness and stupidity we've seen since. And that is the stupid cartoon mustache that the Norn males can get. That's been in the game since launch, and it looks idiotic. It is completely out of keeping with everything else. And anytime somebody wants to make an incredibly stupid looking Norn, usually huge, fat, wearing all kinds of outrageous things, with lots of infusion, screaming, look at me, they have that same huge, stupid cartoon mustache. This has been my TED Talk. I hate the mustache. I hate it so much. Now, I mean, you compare it with, say, I don't know, the fluffy mounts. The plushy mounts, like this one. It's obviously, it's not in keeping with the aesthetic, the canon aesthetic of the game. But that mustache was in at launch. And it was inexcusable to me. Yeah, you can't tell. Yeah, it is. That's one of the things about me when I get rolling on a subject that makes me irked. Yeah. On my gravestone, it would not be inaccurate for them to carve the words, beat so many dead horses. Pardon the yawn again. It was not a great night's sleep. It depends on the goofy stuff. If the goofy stuff is witty, I'm a lot more forgiving. Like, I think that the plushy stuff at least has some wit to it. Now, I think the goofy can be witty. Goofy can just be a finger in the nose, and that's just goofy and not witty. But something can also be clever and goofy. But I do understand your point. I do not find it an unreasonable point of view. An Aussie cricketer bowler that had a mustache like that and it suited him. Well, I mean, mustaches shaped like that were historically common, but the actual size and the fact it looks like a big cutout, a big silly cutout. I think an enormous mustache could, but not one that looks like that. For me. Again, we can like and dislike different things because we're human, more or less. Yeah, handlebar mustache is historically one that goes like that. Yeah. Not to be confused with a horseshoe mustache. I occasionally have sported a horseshoe mustache on stream, where I just cut this part of the beard off and have the horseshoe mustache. It's kind of a Wilford Brimley vibe. If you're old enough to remember the Wilford Brimley ads. I'm Wilford Brimley, and tonight I'd like to talk to you about diabetes. The handlebar was certainly historically accurate. Late 19th century, early 20th century. The most recent mount is one that had one of my Guild Wars 2 friends from way back freaking out. And she wanted it so much, but she doesn't play enough that she could justify the, was it $16, I think? I think it was not that. Wasn't a ferret. What was the recent mount that looks like a ferret? Was it a weasel mount? No. Let's bloop back in. Are these the flying? No, that's all the mounts, right? Yeah, that's all the mounts. Yeah, the mischievous ferret, Warclaw. It was a Warclaw. She's a former ferret owner. Used to have a couple of ferrets, and so she saw the ferret mount and just wanted bad, but she hasn't played much for a while, so she couldn't justify it. Pardon the yawn again. Oh my god. This one is always slow to kick off and then ends really quickly. The next boss rush boss after this is the Shadow Behemoth. What do you call fake spaghetti? Somebody just asked in chat. An impasta. Early night? Yeah, probably. I was at it for 3 hours last night while drinking, while playing Aethys, which I really, really enjoyed. For about a half an hour last night, I was just furious with the game, but overall, despite that one issue, the game, for basically a one-man game, incredible. Incredible. Pretty sure the best under $20 game I've ever played. I think it's still on sale for 16 bucks. If you caught any of the streams in the game, caught your eye, give it some thought. Pardon the yawn. Oh my god. I don't know what I'll be playing tomorrow, but I do know that Friday, I'm not sure I'll be streaming at the regular time, but I will definitely be streaming at 9 p.m. Pacific time. So that's 5.5 hours from now. And I will be streaming, unless the servers melt down, I'll be streaming the launch of the private server for Marvel Heroes. I got 2 cuts of quality red meat. That's pretty good. I killed 2 things and got 2 cuts of quality red meat. Which, if you're not aware, is used in Ascended cooking. Yeah. We can tell there are a lot of new players because they all went up there to attack the Modnir Olgoth, and you can't hit him. He has 2 critters he summons first that need to be killed down here, and then he comes down here. So they're new players. Check out people playing Crimson Desert. Yeah, what I've seen of it so far, I did not find impressive, but like most games, you know, your mileage may vary. I expect I will spend some time tomorrow tuning into somebody playing it, probably Dat Mods. I do think he tends to be a little bit too uncritical of new releases.
Answer this, hummingbirds. How does one fight the wind?
It's currently sitting at 77% on Metacritic, for what that may or may not matter. Are you going to come down here, oh, Olgoth? Have chat turned off, though? Oh, yeah, I generally have it minimized so I don't see the chat. Mods is a genuinely good guy. I imagine he would be a great hang. I kind of admire, you know, his ability to maintain his good humor. Kind of wish I wasn't as much of a sour old fart, but I was always a sour old fart even when I wasn't old. He did not last very long. Next one was Shadow Behemoth. We'll see what state that one's in. I may hang around for one more, or I may not. Nope. Come on, Lens. Get your shit together. There you go. Figured it out. But then I generally turn off chat for any of the large streamers. Even the moderate-sized ones, sometimes. Depending on how busy the chat is. If their chat is particularly chatty. Also, a big streamer like Mods, they suffer from emote spamming, which is something I find just absolutely detestable. People who just spam the same emotes over and over and over in chat, they make me want to pull my head off. Is it already going? No, that must be an invasion. It's an invasion. It's the Awakened Invasions. Well, thank you. On the other hand, keeping up with chat in a smaller stream is not particularly demanding. I do try to do readbacks, like I just didn't do a minute ago. I should have said, I think this is the only one you have chat on. Oh, thank you. Is what I should have done. I try to do readbacks, especially because I have split streaming. I'm streaming to both YouTube and Twitch. And so if I do readbacks, the things I say make a lot more sense. I try to do them, I often forget. Also, one of the advantages I've had from chatting in Guild Wars 2 streamers is people recognize my name now. I've also been doing raids with some of the better known Guild Wars 2 streamers on Sunday nights. Chat spamming hate as well as streamers that have chat viewing screen pisses me. Oh, yeah, I don't like that either. The worst, however, are, and any streamer who does it, I understand. For the ones who are making a living at it, I understand. But I hate text-to-speech. Dat Mods has at least one person who, when Mods leaves, they will put in a tip and chat spam like 100 of the number 7. So it just goes 7, 7, 7, 7. So this one clown is paying $5 or whatever to annoy 3,000 people at the same time. There's a reason I think I have a limit of 3 emotes in a line is the most that will show up. Otherwise, it gets your tell to chat gets muted. Might be 5 now. I don't remember who it was. I've seen it a couple of times where people are obviously doing attention-seeking behaviors from the streamers regularly by paying for text-to-speech to talk about some problem they're going through in their real life. I realize I'm talking to the converted here, but guys, do not go to a streamer for real life advice. That's about the dumbest thing you could do. You know, accepting, like the guy earlier asked me, you know, about any advice for, you know, starting up streaming. I think that's a good question for someone to ask a small streamer. How did you get started? What steps would you recommend? That makes sense. But telling the streamer that your girlfriend left you, why do all my girlfriends leave me? And a streamer, you've just paid him money, probably, to have him hear your problem. Most of them aren't going to go, well, dude, you could become a eunuch. I'm sure they still are hiring for eunuchs in the Middle East. Actually, that's not completely true. If you've ever watched Mathel, that is the kind of thing Mathel would say to someone with a stupid enough question. Of all the streamers I watch, he is the one who is least likely to suffer a fool. He makes enough money from streaming that he doesn't have to worry that if he alienates somebody and they won't come back. And so he will occasionally pull out a thermonuclear device and drop a bomb on somebody. I'm also not a fan, as a viewer of streams, of what I refer to as toxic positivity. There are a lot of streamers who, again, because, they're trying to make a living, and I understand. If you're trying to make a living at streaming, good luck, but more importantly, I understand. And so they're positive all the time, relentlessly, unceasingly positive. Everything is great. Everyone who's watching, you love the things that they say and do. It just for an old cynical bastard like me, it sometimes just becomes a bit too much. Knock knocks. Let's see, 2 or 3 in the morning, I think. I'm just doing a little bit of the boss rush. I did a key farm. Killed a couple of bosses, good for one more. Pretend positive is fake and feels bad. Yeah, that's my thing. I don't think most of the time it's fake. There are people about whom it feels genuine and organic, and there are people where it feels forced and inorganic. And the thing is, you really can't tell who's genuine and who's not. I'm sure that some of the ones who feel ungenuine to me are genuine. And some of the ones who feel genuine and organic to me are faking it. You'll never have a problem with that in this stream. Toxic positivity is not something we do around here. Waiting for your groceries to be delivered? Yesterday I got into the middle of the afternoon before I realized it was St. Patrick's Day, and I didn't want to go to the store because it was upper 80s Fahrenheit. And I had my Guinness and Doritos delivered. Why, that's a incredibly fine-looking, lovingly handcrafted emote. Crafted with these very fingers. And this brain. And sadly, this face. Tag up for bonus damage. We don't need bonus damage. How many people do you think we got here? 30? 40? 50? The boss rush event is ongoing. And you got to kill 30 to finish off to get the ascended, I think it was an ascended ring. May have to use the background removed. I actually like the background for the charm. Yeah, I took like 20 minutes or half an hour to throw that together because someone was giving me a hard time for having 0 emotes. So I had 1. That's it. We hope you enjoy our emote. Let us. Did they not? Yeah, they did show all pet, etc. minion names. I like to keep that on so that I can complain about people who don't show their pets the appropriate love. You know, your pet loves you, it fights for you, it's willing to die for you. The least you could do, really the least you could do, is give it a name. Necromancers don't get that option to name their pets. But I do get tired of Jade Mac CJ-1. Come on, guys. Seriously. I have two characters with them. I have Dave the Murder Bot. And I have the Unstoppable Farce. Are my two mechs that I know the name of off the top of my head. All of my ranger pets get names. Mostly smartass. The people who don't name their pets, it hurts the soul. Yeah, it erodes my soul. You've got a pet. It gives you an opportunity to express yourself. You can try to make something cool. You can try to do something funny. On the positive side, I very seldom see one that seems to be intended to offend. So that's a good thing, at least. Given how many character names are obviously gotten with the exact express intent of offending. Input not found. Some of your expensive whiskey to take all your positives with the same amount of alcohol. Single malts? Single malts? I'm a single malts guy. Although actually I haven't had a good single malt in a long time. I would still consider myself a single malt kind of guy. Excellent. We must have talked about single malts before. $70 a pop. Most I ever spent was $100 for a bottle of Glenlivet 22 cask strength. Caden heads. They sell cask strength. Whoops, I'm standing in the poop. I was standing in the poop. Okay. And theoretically, at cask strength, it was a 55% alcohol. You're supposed to add water, but it was so smooth that even at 55%, you didn't have to. Glen Alahi, haven't had that one. Lag, Edrador I've had. Aaron Sherry cask. My Scottish friend, his favorite was Carlisle. I also like Lafroig, but only during, if it's got to be freaking cold out for me to want Lafroig. Lafroig is very, very peaty. We are talking whiskey, single malts. Can talk single malts until the crows come home if you want, but that would be boring in the long run. I don't know. I could do it. I mean, you can get a nice, creditable single malt for a reasonable flavor with you know, the classic Glenlivet or Glenfiddich. But for cold weather, I do love Lefroy. 46 unfiltered, uncolored. Don't think I've ever had anything unfiltered. Bushmills, creditable. I would not say no. I'm a single malts guy. When I was drinking a lot of scotches because I had a lot of money and I had a Scottish friend, and we would go to the local liquor stores, the liquor warehouses, and we would, you know, buy nice expensive scotches and share. Like I said, the most I ever paid, and this was, that would have been around 1998 or so, and that was $100 for the 22-year-old cask strength Glenlivet. Rare and valuable.
6 feet tall.
Being Irish, it's bred into you. Well, sir, I enjoyed at least what most Americans would conceive of as the most Irish of beverages last night, Guinness. I woke up this morning to 8 Irish dead soldiers in the kitchen. Unless you've tried their pre-2000 stock before they got sold. Oh, okay, then I have had unfiltered, yeah. Because I've had the Edredor. Now, I understand that the real deal in Ireland is going to taste significantly different, but the US version is creditable. And I've always been a fan. Also, contrary to what most people would expect from a darker alcoholic beverage, relatively low in calories. Edredor released 10-year at 46% more. The true taste comes out. You don't want to filter that high ABV. Had the green eggs and sausages too? No. No. I hadn't even realized it was St. Patrick's until like 1 p.m. yesterday, so I had to have Guinness and Doritos. You know, Doritos, the classic Irish drinking snack. I had to have those delivered. Not going to lie, you've been to the States a couple of times and you've seen some sacrilege when it comes to American bartenders pouring a Guinness? Yes. Yes, you will. Well, and my understanding is that occasionally Americans will pop over across the pond and will, in their ignorance of Irish history, will ask for a very tasty beverage variation that we'll have in this country called a black and tan, not knowing that no, don't ask for that. It's what? Harpin Guinness layered? Pint of Guinness, you need a bag of Smith's bacon fries. Well, I had some Smiths, but it was a long time ago. But I've never had bacon fries. Really? I was sure. Doritos, definitely Irish national snack food, right? Yeah, I was sure. All right, we got more stuff. Oh my God, I keep getting... It's that time again. It is that time again where we go into material storage. Okay, we've got mithril ingots. We've got space for more mithril ingots, so we make some mithril ingots just because we are tired of selling them in 2s and 3s every time we get a few more. So, mithril ingot, mithril ingot. I think we had how many? Currently have 630. Well, gosh, you know, we could make another 370. And then I won't have to worry about onesie twosie selling all my mithril. Doritos with your pints. Excellent. And so I am going to be calling it an evening. As always, thank you guys very much for hanging out. I really do appreciate it. I know streamers say that all the time. I can guarantee you from personal experience, generally, we mean it. At least some of us, I can guarantee, are just glad to have anyone paying attention to any of this nonsense we say. I should be back tomorrow at the usual time, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, middle of the night in Europe, morning in Asia, Australia, and New Zealand. I have no idea what I'll be streaming. Yeah, no idea. But Friday, one thing I do know, I'm not sure if I'll stream at my usual time, and if so, what I'll be streaming. But at 9 p.m. Pacific on Friday, I realize that's a time that is unfelicitous for some or all of you. I will be streaming the launch, hopefully the server survives, the relaunch of Marvel Heroes Online, the ARPG/MMO RPG, originally from Gazillion, running on an emulated server. If you ever played Marvel Heroes, you might want to check out, or even if you never did, but it sounds interesting. The primary designer was David Brevik, who also designed Diablo and Diablo 2. So think of it as a Marvel superhero game that plays like Diablo or Diablo 2 with MMO RPG components as well. It's been dead for, well, it died just before Thor Ragnarok came out. So that tells you how long it's been dead for. And this is an emulated server. They have reverse engineered the server tech. So it's legal. That doesn't mean that Disney won't sue them, but it is legal in the US. And I'll be playing that at 9 p.m. Pacific time on Friday. I'm looking forward to it. Nod Knox. We recently had our leap forward daylight savings. So it seems like it's an hour earlier, but it's the same time for me. It was an hour earlier for you. So that's the reason Nod Knox, why it seems like my stream is at an off time. Daylight savings. God, I'm sick of it. Now, funnily enough, there are movements in the US that I agree with about getting rid of daylight savings time. Changing twice a year is bad. It's bad economically. It's bad for people's health. Science is clear. However, the problem is half of Americans want no daylight savings time, and the other half want all the time daylight savings time. As a nation, we're screwed. Anyway, I'll be back tomorrow, usual time. Hopefully you will see me soon. I hope the rest of your Wednesday night or Thursday morning, knock knocks, goes okay. Hopefully you can very quickly transition into a weekend, because God knows you deserve a couple of days off. Back tomorrow. Not sure what I'm playing. Friday evening. Not sure what I'm playing. Friday night. Marvel Heroes returns. And I'm actually excited. Hard as that may be to believe. One last thing I'll do, I will plug again Aethys, the game I've been playing over the last couple of weeks. It's really good. It's $16. Give it a look. Back tomorrow. Take care and